Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Pinterest. It is time for another update. Additionally, an update was requested by one of the followers, so I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now on this chart we are still basically tracking the same patterns as in the previous video, where we have here a 1-2 setup, and then we can look for continuation in the uptrend in a couple of ways actually. So here we have in yellow the idea of an impulse possibly forming, where we basically have 3-1-2 setups at this point, and then we should be finding a third wave to be unfolding fairly soon. Now in that case I would need to hold these areas of support that we have here in yellow, and we did break below both of these briefly, but of course we managed to recover, and even within this latest 1-2 setup we are still within the area of support, and who knows, we may have even formed a bottom already. Now even though this is a possible interpretation, it is not necessarily my favorite. I, for example, don't have the most confidence in this 1-2 setup to be working out, and I will be watching out for a larger 1-2 that could be working either as part of a larger leading diagonal or within an ending diagonal in a wave C, in which case we would actually have a coinciding area of support within this ABC pattern for this larger correction, where we might even have a reset basically within a wave 2, if not a full breakdown. But within the orange interpretation we are looking for something like, for example, an ABC, which could be unfolding. And for an even more direct bearish interpretation, we actually have also the red scenario, within which we have basically a double 1-2-1-2 setup, where we would expect to actually be in the wave 3 already, where if we manage to break here above the wave 2 top at around the $41 level, we would actually invalidate that idea. It wouldn't be an additional 1-2 setup at this point, but it doesn't invalidate the possibility of a more direct breakdown. Now for a more generic area of support, this is in case we actually fail to hold the relevant support levels for these internal 1-2 setups. 1-2-1-2. I would be watching out at the levels between the $30.5 all the way down to the $20 level. Now if we actually even break below the 78.6% retracement in white, well, that would be a quite large warning sign that this structure to the upside is probably completely done. I would probably be prepared for not getting any additional highs even within the area of resistance afterwards. At this point this is not the case. We can still track even this internal 1-2 setup, where we have formed here a 5-wave move up, on 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th. Could work out, not the prettiest, but could work out, and in that case we have an ABC pattern that we are tracking here internally. Unfortunately, within this ABC we would actually still need an additional low to have the full count, but we may in the end have a bottom already formed, because actually if we form an additional low within this area, since we did already break below the area of support a few times already, it is not a likely interpretation. This 1-2 is not the most likely setup to play out at this point, but as long as we have the areas of support to hold, we can still look forward for the push higher. And as long as we don't even break below the beginning of this wave 1, the invalidation cannot be fully confirmed, because even if we form something like a 1-2 where we retrace maybe even 95%, it could still manage to work out. Not likely, other counts maybe work even better, but at this point I am ready to still allow it, and we can even look for an ideal target for this retracement, but we would have already reached the 100% extension of this initial push to the downside. Could be a wave W, and here a wave X and a wave Y down, and in that case, in the wave Y, we would have here an ABC pattern, which could be complete. Now, for the relevant resistance areas that we need to break for a more clear signal that we have bottomed indeed, I don't necessarily have a lot of faith in breaking them, but we can still track them to gauge where we should also expect to retrace if we are to continue here in a 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th. Well, in that case I would be watching out at the levels between the $27 all the way up to the $29.4 level. So as long as we stay here below the 50% retracement in blue, I am actually still looking for another low. This is outside, or yeah, could be within the yellow interpretation, but most likely if we follow through within this interpretation in blue, I would probably be looking already for the larger, wider area of support in white, which makes me think, yeah, maybe we should be tracking directly this within the white scenario, where yeah, we should have something like, who knows, maybe a larger ABC, in which case, yeah, we could even add here such a count to the chart. And for now, we could even look for an ideal target within the wave C based on the current top, and that would be at around the $21 level, the 100% extension of the wave A. But in the end, even if we manage to break above the resistance area in red, this count is not invalidated, and it is basically a warning sign that this movement to the downside could even accelerate, even become more stronger and quicker, swifter, with higher momentum. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.